Hello everyone, my name is Rikard Engberg and I'm an equity research analyst here at Erik Penser Bank. With me I have Jessica Skon, CEO of BTS Group, and Philios Andreou, Deputy CEO of BTS Group. And today we're going to discuss the quarterly result of BTS, which were released today. And I will start with, can you both briefly summarize the development of your key markets during the quarter and what was resulting basically in a flat growth ex FX?
Sure. I mean, at the highest level, the market conservatism that we were experiencing in North America moved to Europe. So the Europe market actually declined, -2%. It was nicely offset by the growth in Philios' unit, most of the world, by 4%. And the North American market grew 1%. So. And
are there like any specific industries that you have noticed a bigger downturn in? We have previously discussed the tech industry during the later half of last year and during Q1. Were there new industries during the second quarter?
The growth in the non-tech industries pretty much across the board was the following: financial services, energy, CPG, and pharma bio. So.
Okay.
And in addition to industries, I think what we see is also pockets in terms of countryside. So we have some countries that obviously have headwinds, like our Middle East office is growing quite nicely. Our Southeast Asia office is growing quite nicely. We have the office in Sweden, Nordics office. So there's pockets, or New York. So there's pockets of offices that they work in multiple industries, but due to the client base, due to the work they're doing, we're also seeing a good impact. So that's also another variable in addition to the industries.
Okay, and also since we have discussed the tech industry previous quarters, how has it developed during the second quarter? Has it been flat, or are you seeing that it could return soon?
Yeah, I mean, it's the second quarter was still tricky, right? But the buyers in the tech industry there's more movement than there was in the first half of the year, right? So we saw the org restructuring in the first half, the delaying of initiatives in the first half. It continues to be tough, but the movement and the proposal flow is getting better, I would say. It's not fixed, it's getting better.
But I noticed a quite strong demand strong margin given the low growth during the quarter. Can you please describe what is driving the margin during the quarter?
Yeah, no, it's something we're quite proud of. So thank you for asking. I think it's a few things. One, we did stop hiring essentially across the company last fall, so that has helped us. Number two, one of our core principles in a softer market is to make sure that we come out with a stronger talent base, right? And so some people have decided to quit the company, and we've also done a better job of performance in managing people out. Now the third factor would be using our pricing and scoping tools across the company. So we've been able to maintain high pricing discipline, in particular in North America and most of the world. And then the big initiative that is in addition to that, we talked about in the first quarter. And the workforce planning initiative that was started in North America, based on our plan, we were estimating about 60 million Swedish kronor to be saved over the course of the year. We know the majority of that will be realized in the second half, but in the second quarter we started to see the benefit of that, and that's combined with the other things is the primary reason for, yes, the profit still declined, but not as much as we were expecting or could have.
Yeah, and at the same time, as an organization, as we move forward, we're doing a lot of work internally to prepare and make sure that we become a stronger company going forward. So we've also are implementing a number of systems, a number of processes that are helping us to be more efficient, more up to date. For example, we're working with different financial systems, bringing together in order so that we we can take advantage of, of course we are present in many countries, but maybe having one way of one financial system helps us productivity, data analysis. We're working on making sure we have the right data in the right moment through our analytics. We are doing a number of projects on artificial intelligence, how it can help us both to be more productive, but also for generating revenues. We're working with systems on help desks for our projects, for our clients, on the way we schedule things. So there's a number of internal things that may do have an impact on the client side, because at the end of the day you can give a better service and a faster service, but they have a much bigger impact as well on our ability to be productive and to be able to scale as we grow. So I think that has been also a focus in this year.
So given the initiatives you're taking to improve the margin, you will not be facing any bottleneck once you see volume coming back. So
that's exactly, I think, why we are doing this, because we decide that even though this may seem like a softer market, and we'll do everything to work towards growth, at the same time it's an opportunity for us to become a stronger organization, and a stronger organization means to be ready for big growth. So that means that taking the advantage of this year to become an organization that will be ready, rather than cutting down and then being facing that we can't work in a growth environment.
Okay, good. And can you please describe your latest acquisition of a company called Boda, and how it has added value during the quarter, and how you think it will be adding value in the future?
Sure. So Boda gives us executive coaching as a capability, which is important both in supporting our clients' big change initiatives as well as their leadership development, leader readiness initiatives. Boda, from a financial perspective, contributed 16 million Swedish kronor to the top line, which is about 1% of the company. Even though it wasn't full quarter close, they were just with us for the last 2 months. They will continue to add growth to the company. We already have a lot of cross-selling happening, which is actually pretty remarkable given they haven't been with us that long. On the BTS account side, we have 1 executive coaching deals, thanks to Boda and bringing them into those opportunities. And what's really interesting about this acquisition is the founder and her team are bringing BTS very quickly into their accounts, because up until this point they have really great relationships with CEOs and the executives that they're coaching, but they didn't have anything else to offer them. So we've already won deals actually in their existing accounts with broader BTS services. So I think they should be a really nice source of growth for us.
And one thing we have done with Boda is to say, in order for us to realize the maximum of benefits, we kept them focused in the North American market. We do some work internationally, but we said, let's make sure we get a great integration and great benefits there, and then in a later stage we'll bring them as well in the rest of the markets, which is something that we would love to do because we think there's great opportunities there.
Great. And finally, since I'm covering both software and tech as well as you, I was really interested about the Tech Initiative that you're taking during the quarter. Can you please just describe some of them, because I found them very interesting?
Sure. So in the last, I guess, 8 or 9 weeks, we've put a major internal initiative to support generative AI, right? And what that has looked like for us and the way we're tackling it is the head of our innovation and digital transformation practice, who's already bringing AI training and change services to our clients. We put him in charge of an internal initiative. So what he did is a couple things. First, he built training to demystify for all the BTSers in the company what's possible now with basic prompt engineering, right? And what do you have accessible to you in the market? So far, 50% of the employees have had the training. We have a really cool playbook that continues to get updated almost daily, where we have over 50, I think, or over 40 unique tools that are specific to BTSers' jobs, right, in terms of how they're taking advantage of generative AI and open source in the market. What that has led to is productivity gains, and I'll give you a couple examples. At the same time, our customers are asking us for help, right? And so in the second quarter, we have our first approximately 2 million worth of deals that we've started and have been implementing to help them. So I'll go back to the productivity side for a minute. I'll just give you 2 examples. And what's cool about this is we're doing the training. He's also individually coaching our practice leaders and our functional leaders. So we make sure that the leaders are practicing, they're playing around with what's possible. It's making them think about how to improve the productivity of the work or at the ease of the work. Without, by the way, you could say outsourcing a consultant's brain. I mean, it's how do you put the 2 together, right, to deliver the best BTS services. And just to give you 2 examples of how the experimentation is leading to some concrete gains. The first one is within our digital team. We've been designing bots, let's say, for the last 4 years. And a particular use case of the bots is in coaching conversations with people or when you're practicing something new, because the bot can give feedback, right, and help push the person forward. In the past, it took us on average 18 months to build a coaching bot. At the end of April, the leader of that practice challenged the digital team and said, hey, let's use generative AI, let's use prompt engineering. Let's give ourselves 4 weeks. Play around with it, try to build the same bot in 4 weeks, and let's see how far we get. Not only did they build the exact same bot, but it's better, right? And it's better and we can use it for more purposes now than just what we were originally using it for. So in that particular example, we can now build the bots that we need in 4 weeks instead of 18 months. Another example is within our assessment practice. They were really early adapters and tinkerers and trying to learn. One of the things they do is they observe. In an assessment, you observe somebody trying a job, and then you have to deliver a report that influences the person's readiness for the job in a way, right? Or it tells them what their gaps are. What they've realized is they can guarantee the same objective quality, but write the report in 75% less time. So given the number of reports that we write in a year and how big that practice is for us, if they implemented that across the board and did nothing else, we would save about 500,000, you could say euro, a year, right? Just from that one shift. And so those are just 2 examples. What I'm appreciating about our approach here, which is also what we're advising clients on, is more of a grassroots tinkering for a little while, right? And demystify it for people, let them play around, because then the ownership lives within those teams. And the thing that's happening just in the last really week or week and a half is 3 of the teams are asking us for budget now in anticipation of, let's say, Microsoft's next release or something that's coming out on Salesforce. And that to me is a really good sign, because sometimes with software implementations, the company will make a decision and pick a software, but then nothing changes around them. And in this case, right, the ownership and the tinkering is already happening with the teams, and they're kind of asking, well, how far could I actually take this, right? And how much would it help with the job? So this is a long answer. On the revenue side, I think I already mentioned the major services that we've starting to do in the second quarter. I mean, it's really early days, right? But the main one is demystifying generative AI, right? Both predictive and using large language models. The second one is the change in transformation and adoption services around getting people to try these things, right? And actually doing it throughout an organization. Those are the 2 main ones. And then the third one, I would say, isn't necessarily a new revenue stream for us, but it makes our services more competitive. And that's just putting it right into our simulations and the services that we're already doing.
Yeah, can I add, Richard, that I think we see with in this topic a lot of companies going out there and spending a lot of money just to try and be current. Our approach is a lot more practical. So we are looking at it from like everything we do, which is to say, let's look at the reality, let's look at how we can make it work, let's try it ourselves, let's look at start experimenting with clients, and that will give us a much better road to usage versus just put millions behind it and see if that something would work. No? So I think that we are the advantage of our stand is a lot more practical, and that's why we are very proud with the results that we are also seeing quickly. No?
Okay, great. Jessica and Philios, thank you for coming here to Erik Penser Bank, and thank you everyone who has been watching.